Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Today is a very exciting day for me because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Jethro Tull stand-up 45 RPM edition from Acoustic Sounds, Analogue Productions, for the longest. I remember seeing the ad like a year ago, buried in one of the flyers that came in the records, you know, and I said, wow, I guess they're never going to get to this. It's just like, seems like it's taking so long, but it finally is here, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a second. Before I get started, if you're new and haven't already, please consider subscribing. If you like this kind of content, I'd love for you to subscribe and help support the channel. We're almost at 5,000. I think we can get there with your help. So if you could hit like, subscribe, and notification, you'll be sure to be notified of any new content that comes up, and you'll be helping out the channel. So thank you for doing that. I have had this in my collection. This is my original. I've had this in my collection since I was a teenager, and I remember this pop up so well. This is not an early one. It's a later chrysalis pressing. I really need to learn how to pronounce that correctly. I'm going to ask my friend who knows everything about that. So Jethro Tull Stand Up is the second Jethro Tull album. The first one was This Was, and This Was is much more bluesy based album. This one takes that and moves it a little bit forward with a little bit more folk and progressive elements, and I think it's one of the best. Before it went full forward into like Aqualung and Thick as a Brick, even Benefit. I like the comment. I always like the bluesy rock Jethro Tull, so this has that, and it has the more progressive elements as well. First of all, the new edition is 2x45 and a gatefold. It's Stoughton, so it's gorgeous. It's like a sheet of glass. It's so beautiful. The reproduction is wonderful. This one has a little bit more of a yellow tint, or almost gold tint. This is a little more yellow, or yellow green, but the actual detail in the drawing is great, and the pop-up is done well, just as well as the original, and the labels retain the same label. Actually, I thought they would probably use a UK label, but they did not. I'll make this short and sweet. This blows away my American US pressing in almost every parameter. First of all, the tape sounds better. The actual tape used is a UK tape, original. I'm not sure how they did it, but they did it, and it made a big difference for me. I don't have an original UK. I've always had this one, and this one always sounded a bit veiled and a bit congested sometimes. It just did not sound very, very good. And this one it was like opening up a dirty window. It was like, wow, you could look right into it. And all the eccentricities of this production, which there are, it's not an audiophile record by any means, but it can sound good, and it does sound great on this. And just the clarity. Well, first of all, the pressings by RTI were very, very, very good. very quiet, and probably a little more quiet than QRPs have been sometimes. And I'm really glad that our RTI got to press this. It's kind of a nice thing, because it really opened up the bottom end, the lower level detail, and this makes it a much more involving record. That combined with a fresh tape, great pressing, and mastering by Kevin Gray. I mean, he brought out all the strengths of this album and seemed to have minimized any deficiencies that I used to experience with this. It sounds better than ever, and I am thrilled with it. I'm thrilled with it, and I have no issues at all with the 45 format on this particular record. The way it's split up is not an issue for me. You know, it's like 2 to 3 tracks per side, but it works very well, and I didn't mind getting up with this kind of quality of sound. It's, for this record, it's demonstration quality sound. I don't mean that in terms of absolute demo quality to show off how well your system is doing, but I think for this record, I don't think it's ever sounded better. And from what I gather, it sounds better than even the UK sound. So a high recommendation on this. It's wonderful. Perfect pressing, great sound. You know, it's Jethro Tull at kind of a peak, I think, an early peak at least, and kind of leads the way for what was to happen next. But, you know, a couple of things I could mention. Every time I have to look at this. Hello. A New Day Yesterday. Very heavy, a monster track. It just leaps out of the speakers and is extremely heavy. The bass is finally here, and it's detailed, but it's very deep and sounds amazing, just amazing. Boré is the one that's mostly flute, and breath sounds and details on the flute are very evident. Even the little utterances from Ian Anderson while he's playing are very clear. I think that's due to the fresh tape, to the UK tape, and to the low level detail that's available on this very quiet pressing. Nothing Is Easy sounded spectacular. Fat Man sounded amazing too. All that little detail of percussion in the beginning, just sparkles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The whole thing is just a win. And if you're thinking of getting it, I know it's a little pricey. You're paying $5 for someone to paste in the little stand-up, and to me it's worth it. You know, I would have paid $60 for this without the stand-up, but for $5 extra you get the stand-up. And if you love this album, you're going to want to have this edition. This is it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm just thrilled with it, and it was worth the wait for sure. So let me know what you think. Have you got it yet? What do you think about it? I love it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Scott for the Pressing Matters. Have a great day.